What is going on, guys? Neo here, and yes, I am bringing you, in my opinion, the cheapest class in TF2. And this class is, in fact, the Phlogistinator set for the Pyro. Not the full set. I only got the Phlogistinator and the Man Melter, and I also have the first of all because I don't have the 3rd degree, and also because I like the Back Scratcher a lot better. So you might be thinking, well, Jack, didn't you say TF2 is always like the most balanced game you've ever played, and it's the best game ever? Well, yeah, it is the best game ever, and it's the most balanced game I've ever played. But there are cheap setups. I mean, you know, everybody's class or play style is different than another person's. So, you know, one person might suck with this setup. I don't really know how, but one person, you know, could suck with this setup. And if you don't know the Phlogistinator, it is a flamethrower for the Pyro, obviously. And it does, I think, like 10% less damage on average, like normally, and it can't air blast, so it can't air blast rockets and or sticky grenades or like regular grenade launchers or pipes, whatever you want to call them, and you cannot extinguish enemies. So to counteract this, you know, Valve gave you the Man Melter for a secondary where there's no random critical hits, but you can air blast or you can extinguish enemy or teammates, as you can see right here. I extinguish him and I get not a random crit, but I get a crit stored up. So it's like the Frontier Justice and where it stores up crits. So, you know, I kind of like that whole function of storing up crits, and it's really helpful using the Man Melter when you have the Phlogistinator, just because you can be that much more useful. So you're probably wondering what's going on in the background. I'm pretty ashamed of it, guys. It is just spawn camping. It is just basically being the noobiest Pyro I could ever be. Like, not even trying. So what you want to do, well, with the Phlogistinator as well, when you get enough oomph, as you can see in the bottom right, it says oomph, and that is basically how much fire damage I've collected. So no matter what, whenever somebody's on fire, that meter is going up. Whether I hit him with the flare gun, whether I hit him with like that molten fire axe or whatever, or if he's on fire with the Phlogistinator, that meter will go up, and then once it's full, whenever you taunt, you will, well, when you're taunting, you will have 90% damage reduction on you, so you can't really die when you're taunting, and then you will have crits for like 6 or so seconds. I'm not 100% sure on the time, but you have crits, and that is really, really deadly on a small map like Harvest. King of the Hill Harvest, where you can get right up in their spawn. It's really overpowered, and this is where, I don't want to say overpowered, because I might have already said overpowered previously in this video, but I would say cheap. Okay, cheap because you don't really need skill, but it's not overpowered because, you know, you can counteract this. Like, first of all, I'm not invincible. As you can see right there, I died. But you can always like just sit in spawn and get an Uber with like an Ubered heavy, and then just come out of spawn and kill me. Now it would be kind of annoying and it would be kind of noobish for me using this. I get that, which is why most people hate it. But it's definitely not overpowered. However, I still think they should nerf it just a little bit. I think that they should either make it so instead of crits, do mini crits, because, you know, maybe in other game modes crits, it's like having crits isn't overpowered or cheap. It isn't cheap having crits, but I think that if you had mini crits on this and maybe you reduce the time it took the meter to charge up, then I think it would be a lot better, or a lot, not like uncheaper. Is that even I don't even know what I'm talking about. It would be a lot less noobier to use it, because I mean it would still be useful because mini crits still do more damage than normal. I think if you give him mini crits, then you would have to increase the amount of damage that it already has on it. So you'd make it so it does regular damage as a regular flamethrower, but there's no air blast. And then when you can charge up and it does mini crits instead of regular crits. Or I think that they should increase, like, if you don't like that idea, just increase the amount of time or the amount of like flame or damage it takes to get the meter fully charged. So you still do crits and it still has the same damage penalty, but it just takes a lot longer for you to get that crit, like those critical hits. Because right now it's taking me like no time at all to just sit at their spawn, hold M1, and just sit there, and then when I need to hit G, which is my taunt button, and then just hit M1 again, and then just basically not die. So I do think it is cheap in that regards. I would kind of like to see it nerfed. You know, I don't know though, because not many people use this setup actually. You know, a lot of people I think have the dignity to not use this setup. I just wanted to, you know, to show you guys this setup. Also because the classes that you voted up the most on the last video, there was 1 vote for heavy and 1 vote for engineer. So I tried to play some attack defend with engineer. Almost got a good game, but we lost, and it wasn't that great of a game anyway. I joined late, and then the next game a guy joined and he had a crit hack, so he was playing sniper and his submachine gun would always have crits, so he would just be killing me and killing me and killing me. I was like, okay, I'm out of here. And then the game after that, I tried to play some soldier actually. I didn't try and play heavy because I don't like playing heavy too much, but I played soldier on King of the Hill Viaduct, and a guy joined with a speed hack, aimbot, and he had auto aim, and he would just like aim through walls and kill him. So he would sit at the spawn, he had like infinite ammo too, and he would just shoot into their spawn. Like, he wouldn't even be doing it, it was like in his hack or whatever. So like, they literally couldn't even walk a foot before they would get like just destroyed in their own spawn. So yeah, I couldn't really use that game either. And I guess, you know, maybe it was just all my pent up frustration from those last 2 games that I decided to use this setup. I mean, as you can see right there, 2,265 damage. That was my most, and I mean, that's a lot. So whatever you think, I mean, if you guys want to try out this setup, it is kind of fun, but just be prepared to get yelled at a lot. So yeah, that's about it. Be sure to leave a like on this video, guys. It does help me out a lot. And also leave a comment on what class you want me to play as for the next video. Yes, I did see that spy, but I thought he was unimportant because they were definitely not going to be able to capture the point. Get a crit, and somehow I completely missed the soldier who I was going for with that crit man melter, and I accidentally hit a spy in the background. But whatever, I still got the kill. So as you can see, I top scored both games, and right here I apologize to the other players and my own team because I mean it is kind of annoying. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.